Namaste friends, and welcome back to The Way Om. My name is Sarah and I'm going to be your instructor for this class. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the phrase, like when something's not working, whether it's a piece of technology or what have you, it's like, have you tried turning it on and off again? So that's kind of the theme of this restorative practice that I have prepared for you. This is just a nice opportunity to unplug, to reset, to recalibrate so you can get back out there and do what you need to do. So I highly encourage and challenge you for this class, maybe putting your phone or your devices in airplane mode, maybe do not disturb. Try to find a place where you're not going to be disturbed for the duration of this practice. We're only going to get into maybe 4 or 5 restorative postures, but before we move on, go ahead and grab the following if you have it. So some props that might be helpful during this practice. Honestly, I highly recommend you find something that resembles the shape of a yoga block, or if you have a set of blocks handy. For restorative yoga, we really want to get the body in its natural alignment through the use of support and really let gravity just do all the work here in this practice. So ideally you do want to have maybe a set of blankets, which I have here set up, folded. And if you have any pillows or cushions that resemble the shape of a bolster, you can go ahead and grab that. Or if you have a yoga bolster or cushion at home, that's definitely going to be helpful for this practice. So you don't want to be holding yourself up or straining at all in this practice. You really just want to be completely and fully relaxed to get the benefit of restorative. So go ahead and grab that and then come back when you're ready. And just to start off our practice, let's go ahead and come into just a brief seated meditation. So just a comfortable seat of your choice. You can sit on a cushion if you'd like, or a blanket folded up. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close the eyes or just keep the gaze a little bit softer than normal. That's fine too. But we're going to go ahead and just take these first few moments of class just to ground down. And just notice the natural rhythm, the natural cadence of your breath. Nice steady inhales and exhales. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, or perhaps a dedication to someone who could use this reset energy, you can go ahead and set that intention now. And let this intention guide you for the duration of this practice as we softly blink the eyes open if they were closed. And then we're going to go ahead and prepare for our first posture. So we are going to come into a supportive child's pose. So if you have those blankets nearby, go ahead and grab those now. And you can kind of see, I've taken this really thick blanket and folded this into a square. And I like to use one blanket for my knees for support. So again, if you need to pause the video and just get your props in the appropriate shape for you, I like to smooth it out and just make sure there's no wrinkles or anything like that. So I'm fully supported here. And then if you have your cushions, or maybe even just a thick stack of blankets nearby, you can always use that for the bolster cushion. And I'm actually going to place, I think I'm going to place a folded blanket over this too. Another thing you can do too, yogis, if you're coming into this child's pose and you feel like the floor might just be too far away in order for you to feel supported, you can grab a block and kind of add a little bit of height there. And you can play around with the shape, of course. Just make this really relaxing and approachable for you. If you need to take a folded blanket underneath the tops of the feet, or roll the back of the mat into a roll here so that the tops of the feet have something to rest on, you can take that as well if that feels comfortable for you too, okay? So really get creative here with the props. I'm gonna grab my blanket. And then just notice I have the bolster kind of like straddled in between my inner thighs. And then I'm gonna come forward into this pose. And I have like a nice soft bend in my elbows. And if you do have that set of blocks, if you wanna like place some blocks underneath you so you're totally supported, you can grab that too. And I'm gonna turn my head in this direction here. And I'll time us in. We're gonna hold this for about like 4 to 5 minutes. And just let that breath be nice and natural and free. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And some of you may notice some similarities between this practice and the yin style yoga practice that we did last week. But just keep in mind that there are some major differences between yin and restorative yoga. So in last week's class, we were focusing on healthy stress for the deep connective tissue. In this class, however, we're going to focus on just getting our body into a natural, relaxed state of alignment. We're going to focus on deep rest, so the parasympathetic system, that rest and digest activation. And we're just going to allow ourselves just to ground down and tune in. So we're not really focused here at all on stretching or targeting the deep connective tissue. We're going for a total nervous system reset. This is a really good practice if you just need to unplug, recharge. This is also a really, really good practice if you struggle with insomnia and getting a deep, restful night's sleep. This is a really good practice to do before you go to bed. And again, for whatever reason, if you don't feel supported, feel free to readjust. Grab any additional blankets or props if you need that, because you really want to feel totally at ease in this practice, totally comfortable. Giving your full weight to the props, to the mat, to the earth beneath you. All right, friends, so from here, we're going to just slowly transition out of this child pose. So using the hands for support to press yourselves back up to seated. If you do need to get off those feet for a second, you can take downward facing dog for a moment, or just simply just come into tabletop. So I might just take down dog just for a second here. To pedal out the feet. So right here, you're kind of already nicely set up for our next pose. So if you just need to look up here for a moment, we're gonna come into a supported twist. So I'm gonna take my knees in the same direction, so towards the left here. And then notice that I'm hugging my right hip up against my bolster cushion or a pillow or a blanket, whatever you have going. And you can keep this exact setup depending on your flexibility or what feels comfortable for you, but we're going for like a little gentle twist here, a nice gentle stimulation for the internal organs. It's just a really good one to come into to also reset the spine. So I'm gonna come back just like I did in child's pose, with the elbows with a nice soft bend in them, just fully supported by the mat or on a set of blocks or folded blankets, whatever you have. And I'm taking my head in the same direction as my bent knees, so I'm facing towards my left for this one. However, you know, if you have the flexibility and if it feels good and appropriate to you, you can take your head towards the right wall, so the opposite direction, and you're definitely going to feel that twist a little bit more, maybe not intensely is the right word, but you're definitely going to be feeling that twist a little bit more. So you could take that, or you could just stay like me. I kind of just want to relax right now. I don't want to do too much. And again, I will time us in for this practice. We're going to be holding this for about 4 minutes. And yeah, I haven't done restorative in a long time, but I just feel like this is just so appropriate right now, just for where I am energetically in my life, but also just when it's so hot out. So this is early June that I'm recording this. I know I need to move, but I want to do so in a way that's just not too demanding, too dynamic. I don't want to overheat my body right now. And again, feel free to adjust in any way if you need to, if you need additional support for the body. And we got about another minute here, friends. And here is the Way mascot Pickle coming to join us. Alright friends, we're going to go ahead and take this on the other side. So just using your hands for support, we'll just gently press ourselves up to seated. And again, if you feel like you need to get just like a brief counter pose, you could take, like down dog, maybe some cat-cow for the spine, since we were in that twist. So just nice gentle movement, nothing too demanding here. And then in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn my setup towards the opposite side just so you guys can see me a little bit better here. So again, I just have my yoga block underneath my cushion. I like to have an additional blanket for support. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the twist on the opposite side. So this time my knees, both knees are facing the right, and so is my gaze. All right, you know what? I'm gonna switch this mic over to this side so y'all can hear me. Hopefully that'll. Alrighty friends, and we're going to go ahead and come into the twist on the opposite side this time. And again, I'm timing us in here for just the next 4 minutes. And just taking this opportunity just to completely reset. Letting your full weight just be supported by the props. So this month I just kind of want to expose all of you to just different styles of yoga. So I teach a little bit of vinyasa, which is obviously more dynamic in nature. I teach a little bit of yin style yoga. And sometimes it's just nice just to balance it out with some restorative. If you got your fur babies nearby, you can feel free to use them as a prop as well. Pickle just wants to be my assistant today. And again, we got about another minute here, friends, so if you need to adjust in any way, just feel free to do so. right, friends, and as you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and come back up to seated. Hey! And then go ahead and just get a counter pose as you're ready. If you want to take downward facing dog, maybe just a couple rounds of cat and cow just to kind of even out the spine there just a little bit. And then I'll walk you through our next pose. Hey, mommy's teaching yoga right now. Yeah. And then once you've gotten that counter pose, friends, we're gonna prepare for our next posture. So we're gonna come into a recline bound ankle pose. I'm obviously relaxed right now. So again, you could literally just keep the same setup that you have. That's kind of how I designed this class, so you wouldn't have to move around as much. But more or less what we're gonna do is we're gonna be on our backs with the soles of the feet together, and the knees are gonna come apart. So yeah, go ahead and grab your props if you need them. If you wanna grab like maybe 2 folded blankets that you could place underneath the thighs. You can also grab a set of blocks as well if you wanna use that for additional support. And if you need just a little bit more height behind your bolster, you can go ahead and grab another block there, or you could place that block like on a higher setting if you feel like you need that. But let's see here. I might try this out and see how this works. I will let you know. Actually, that's not too bad. I might put another block underneath me. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Alrighty. So once you have that, friends, we're gonna go ahead and come back into a recline bound angle pose. And actually, I'm gonna get rid of this block. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit better. So the arms are gonna be down along your sides, so the legs will be apart, soles of the feet together for support. And again, if you feel like you just need a little bit extra, you can always take like 2 folded blankets, one underneath the left thigh, one underneath the right. And we'll just allow the heart to open here, allowing ourselves to be fully supported by our props. So restorative yoga it's like an adaptation from the teachings of BKS Iyengar. In Iyengar style yoga practices, it's very prop heavy, so we use a lot of different yoga props and devices just to help our body come into its natural alignment. So restorative yoga is kind of an offshoot, if you will, of Iyengar style yoga. And really what we're doing, we're again getting into that parasympathetic system, the central nervous system, allowing our body, our organs, our muscles just to completely reset. Allowing our bodies to come back into their natural alignment. So if you're just getting back into yoga maybe, or if you're working with an existing injury or just some overall tenderness in the body, this is a really good practice to start with if you're just getting back into yoga. So from here, we're just gonna slowly come back up to seated. So what we'll do first, we'll just gently bring the legs back together, and you can use your hands to assist you. To get up, you can simply just sit up, or sometimes I just prefer just to like roll onto one side and use my hands for support. And actually, let's go ahead and just take a few sets of windshield wipers. So just taking the knees side to side here, leaning back into the hands for support. And of course, if you want to do this class over again, you kind of know the basic setup. So, you know, you could put on your favorite playlist, or you could hold these poses definitely a lot longer. Some of these poses you can hold like anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes if you prefer. So obviously this is just kind of a shorter condensed practice, but again, you're more than welcome to extend these poses. So for our last pose, I forgot to mention at the beginning, you'll need a chair. You can definitely take like your legs up against the wall for support. If you're in your room, you can definitely use your bed. If the height is tall enough, you can also use like if you're near your couch, you can also use the seat of the couch for support. And I'm going to show you what our last posture is going to look like. So it's sort of like a modified supportive inversion. So the seat of the chair is facing me, and I'm going to rest the backs of my legs, so my calf muscles, on the seat of this chair. And again, if you want to use any props like a bolster underneath your spine for support, or a folded blanket, you're welcome to take that as well. Or you could just lie flat on the mat too, and that's fine as well. Sometimes I like to place a blanket just underneath my sits bones for additional support, but I'm going to go ahead and come onto my back first, and I'm going to lean back into my arms. I'm just going to put the backs of my legs, let's see, on the seat of this chair, just here. And then again, you just want your full weight to be on the seat of the chair here. You want to feel comfortable with your props, so feel free to adjust in any way. And actually, you know what I might do? I might take my bolster cushion the long way and just place that underneath my shoulder blades. Let's see how that feels. So as you can see, you can get really creative with your setup here. Might even roll a blanket underneath my head. Yeah. And again, just get creative with your setup, with your props. I'm gonna go ahead and start us now on our time. So from here, friends, you are more than welcome to stay in this posture for as long as you'd like. Kind of use it as a final shavasana. Otherwise, if this is all the time that you're working with, feel free to go ahead and transition out with me. So you can hug the knees in towards your chest and just roll onto either side of the body, and just using the hands for support. And do be mindful to come out slow. And I'll go ahead and close off this practice here with you. I don't know about you, but I feel just so relaxed right now. I feel like I got a little bit of a yoga buzz going. So yeah, all the more reason to implement more restorative practices and yin style practices into your repertoire. Thank you so much, as always, for practicing with me and just sharing this space here with me. And until next time, namaste.